So it's that time of year that we get all of the latest NBA 2K26 news, and yesterday we were given a treat from the 2K team Evan and Stacks, but also even got word from Mike Wang on Twitter. So 2K went ahead and tweeted out, "Are you ready? The road to NBA 2K26 starts here." And Mike Wang quoted this tweet, "Hello world," and this literally got the entire community jumping. Mike Wang was even trending on Twitter. Now, the visual that 2K actually posted, what I really want y'all to pay attention to is the visual as a whole, but specifically, look on this right side. So, I see a few different things in sneak peeks. You can see the city park, a small ball forward, which is probably one of the builds that you can make this year in NBA 2K26. And then on top of that, if you scroll a little bit closer on the shelf on the bottom right, it's going to show you something that I think is very interesting, Dawkins glass, bro. Now, for those of y'all who know, Dawkins broke the glass back from dunking and back in the days. And if we're able to get a small taste of this in NBA 2K26, man, I'm telling y'all, that's going to be something very special now. And as you can see the cassette tapes with the basketball on them, this is going to show you what's getting revealed each week. So for example, the week of 7/28, gameplay powered by Pro Play. Week of 8/4, presentation plus MyPlayer. Week of 8/11, MyTEAM plus the W. Week of 8/18, you got MyCAREER and MyNBA. Week of 8/18, community content. So I gotta think sometime between August 1st and August 18th, we're gonna go ahead and start seeing those community day invites for NBA 2K26. And man, I believe it. I got faith in Jesus Christ, bro. I'm gonna be there, bro. I got to. I know that when it comes to this community that we are building, bro, this is the most positive 2K Christ-like minded community here on YouTube, but in the 2K community as a whole, bro. And none of this would be possible without number one, Jesus Christ and y'all the rich family, bro. So comment down TG for thank God for another day and another opportunity. And then as you can see, the week of 8/25, the city is going to be revealed and season 1 starts on 8/25. So this is something that I'm thinking the content creators who are at Community Day are going to be able to play NBA 2K25 even an extra 3 to 4 days earlier. Because as you can see on Season 1, it does show the week of 8/25. That's when it starts. Early access is 8/29. And then NBA 2K25 actual launch for everybody is 9/5, bro. So I'm very excited with everything that we got in store for y'all today. And I really just want to say thank y'all so much for the support, especially going crazy this past few weeks, man. Stay in tune for the latest and greatest NBA 2K26 news. I'm gathering everything for y'all from yesterday. So man, y'all know that I definitely got y'all right. And before we move any further, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And I also do want to open up with a little scripture today. This one's going to be coming out of the book Isaiah 1 verse 17. Learn to do well. Seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, and plead for the widow. And this is just a small but real powerful, humbling message that I want to share out to y'all, because there's many times, especially in this 2K community, that we're not looking out for each other, bro. And I feel as though as a community, that's what we need to do more of, bro. So to be that example and to be able to share Christ with y'all, man, that's something that is truly a blessing and special in my life. So I really just want to say thank every single one of you. God bless y'all, man. Now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of what we got yesterday. So it all came down and started with getting a stream from the 2K stream team, Evan and Stacks, yesterday. And pretty much they went to everything from rewarding skill-based gameplay. On top of that, builds with new insights, fresh playstyles year-round, MyPlayer build diversity, and they also put It's a Party in Triple Threat Park, MyCAREER Out of Bounds storyline, Where Will You Go in the NBA Draft, dynamic banners, the city, more ways to flex in the city, and the park gets a makeover. So we got a whole lot to get into today. So back to that tweet, Mike Wang went ahead and tweeted out, "Hello world," at about 10:10 a.m. yesterday, 7/17. And following up on his tweet was a quote coming from Ronnie 2K. The Mike Wang Freedom Tour begins. And I'm telling y'all, man, we got a whole lot in store to talk about today. So the first thing that Evan and Stacks were talking about was gameplay. So a huge topic was rewarding skill-based gameplay. And really what they went into depth on is stick and player movement, and the feedback that you actually get is going to be feeling more responsive from what you're pressing on your controller. So that's something that I think is huge. Maybe, just maybe, we may be getting that faster gameplay and style of dribbling that we've been begging for. But I really think that if this is true, dribbling is going to be better than we've seen in the previous, I'm going to assume 5 years, bro. But on top of that, if they're truthful to their word, man, I gotta say, from what we got yesterday, this is gonna be a great year of NBA 2K26. On top of that, something that they did mention was that in certain game modes and the more competitive ones, they're going to use a green or miss only in competitive game modes. No slightly early or slightly late, only greens are going to be coming back for certain game modes. And I think that's something that the community has been asking about for years. I'm not saying to completely take out RNG, because I know in previous 2Ks that it's been in there. It's just that in NBA 2K25, bro, it was really enhanced and a lot of players really saw, the effects of RNG itself. Now, another thing that I did want to talk about was the green window was actually back for dunk meters. So I think another thing that we should be talking about, and this is actually coming from a tweet from Shoot Everyone. He put, if you wanted to actually create a skill gap in 2K, make every single dunk a dunk meter. That way you're actually forcing people, to try to actually make their shots. No bailout posterizers, no bailout layups, just straight skill when it comes towards getting those dunks, man. And I can say that's something that I definitely would agree with, just to have a little bit more, diverse in competitive play, bro. More diversity in competitive play. I think that would be special and something nice to implement. Now, another thing they talked about was layup timing is permanently enabled and needs to be timed. So this doesn't go to say that you're going to be missing wide open layups. It's just, Evan really went in detail with saying this is really to separate the okay finishers from the great ones. And I think this is special. So expect a full gameplay reveal of the week of July 28th. Now, the next thing that we're going to be getting into is going to be the MyPlayer builder. So I want to show y'all a screenshot from the original picture that I showed y'all in the room. And this is going to be probably, what a lot of the 2K community is assuming, one of the first builds that you can make. So Swante, he went ahead and put this into AI to get this unblurred, and pretty much it's going to show you the first build that we're seeing in NBA 2K26, the small ball forward, a 6'7", 220 pound with a 7'1" wingspan build. And I really like the scouting notes. It really goes into detail with how, you can expect the builder to somewhat look like. And if you take a look at the offensive versatility, this build is primarily a post scorer at 6'7". So tell me, man, are post scorers going to be back in NBA 2K26? Look at that paint defense, bro. For a 6'7" build, pretty much maxed out post scoring and maxed out defense with some shooting, a little bit of a ball handler, can ISO, has some help defense and perimeter defense, pretty much A's all across the board. I gotta say, man, this build looks nasty, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm looking to create and bring back some type of real point forward come NBA 2K26, man. And getting this first screenshot, I think this is something special. Remember, this is all speculation, but also they did mention builds are going to have new insights, and that you can also preview the unlockable body types for each build before making the build itself. That's a huge W, because I know a lot of y'all in the 2K community would make a build, max it out, and then finally figure out that you don't unlock the body shape that you were intending to unlock. Now that's something we don't have to worry about anymore in NBA 2K26, and realistically, I think it's something special, bro. Now, another topic that they did go into detail on was fresh playstyles year-round. So, to me, this seems like, based off how the L2 Cheese lineup went last year, and we saw this pretty much throughout the entire year once y'all found it out, I think we're going to see a little bit more diversity with having them balance builds out from heights that are tall and heights that are lower, bro. And they really talked into detail. I want you to go ahead and check out that stream. It's on Twitch. You can go ahead and replay it. They really went into detail with what we should be expecting in NBA 2K26. Now, another thing that I'm happy about is cap breakers are going to be back, and there's actually also new ways to upgrade your build and unlock these cap breakers from NBA 2K25. And another thing regarding this year is that the core takeover system is back, but it's more in depth, and unlocking takeovers is not going to be as hard as it was previously. Now, this is a huge W. Maybe they're not requiring the 10 and 15 games to unlock your takeovers. Maybe it's just a full set of, let's say, 15 games, 10 games, 20 games, whatever it may be. They're saying it's easier. Another topic they went into was MyPlayer build diversity, and this is pretty much saying that short and tall builds are going to be balanced at all heights, and the community really loved this, but they didn't go too much into detail on this. So I'm really interested in what they're actually doing to get this right, man. So expect the full MyPlayer builder to be revealed the week of August 4th. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit into the city, man. So the city before was real intimidating based off what Evan mentioned in the stream, but he also said he wants to get us on the court even faster. So now the city is more intimate, more accessible, and you can get anywhere that you want to go really quickly. It's not big like it was before, and there's even more ways to flex and show off in the city. Now I'm really interested in this, man. How big are we thinking of making the city? Is it going to be like Rookieville from 2K21, 2K22? If it was that size, bro, I'm telling y'all, that would be perfect. Even if y'all were to bring Rookieville back, that's something that I know a lot of the community really did enjoy and love, bro. And personally myself, I would love to see that back this year. Furthermore, he did mention we also have new ways of putting a spotlight on players. So we're going to have ranked leaderboards, not only in Rec, Pro-Am, but this is going to extend out to the theater, possibly even the regular park, bro. Something that I think this is really going to show that appreciation for those theater players. And, you know, just a hint, quick disclaimer, bro. The theater is going to be back in NBA 2K26, man. So let's not throw that out the window, but especially considering that they are paying more attention to the park this year, let's go ahead and check out those details. So the top player of each day will have a statue displayed in front of each event. I'm going to say event, but realistically, it's just the game mode that you're playing. So whether it's a building like the city, a building like the stage, you're pretty much going to have a statue if you're the #1 ranked player in that mode at the front of the building each day. And from here, they also showed us a screenshot. The park gets a makeover. Evan also did say that the park is getting a lot of love, that the new park designs, they're solely focused on somewhat of a natural and more grounded park environment that you may see in real life in your city or neighborhood. They're also adding new light improvements and a fixed time of day. Now, let me be real with y'all and share my thoughts on that. I'm a big fan of seeing the sunsets in NBA 2K and going, you know, from the shifts of night and day. Especially this year, man, I ran it up a lot in the actual city. And that was probably my favorite area to play, only because it felt like it was the most realistic, you know, true basketball feel that didn't take away from the gaming experience, bro. And I know a lot of people didn't like that, but this year, man, I gotta say, and this is really, you know, maturing in NBA 2K26, realizing the main city was the best place to play all year, man. Now, I want to know your thoughts and opinions down below. Is there any questions? And what are you most excited about in NBA 2K26 that's going to be in this new year? Now, they also did mention banners from stream, and I'm assuming this is going to be from the Pro-Am scene. You know, in the past, you were able to win leagues, win certain events, and you'll be able to get banners displayed across the Pro-Am building before walking in. And I'm going to show y'all a quick screenshot of what that looks like from one of the previous 2Ks, and I gotta say, man, it looks nice. You got the fall champions, the winter champions, spring champions, and summer, man. This looks fire. Now, this tweet comes from Boffer. He put 2K announced dynamic banners. As you win titles, you'll see banners from those championships victories raised into the rafters. Can we bring that back from ranked Pro-Am? I used to have one in 2K19 from being the #1 ranked summer team for everyone to see as they entered the gym. Man, this is something super special and beautiful, and shout out to Boffer for this tweet, man, because if we were to get some form of this in NBA 2K26, man, I know the community would be jumping for this one. In another tweet regarding the RNG, so Swag put, RNG is in just about every 2K. It was just enhanced in NBA 2K25. Asking for no RNG at all is insane. And another one coming up from WLR J Bled at NBA 2K, Evan, and Beluba. And this is a very smart idea. I think the best way to handle shooting is to make meter have RNG, and no meter, no RNG with a small pure green window on wide open shots, and slight RNG like open 1%, weak 2%, moderate 5%, strong 10%, and tight 25%, etc. this would reward both offense and defense. You know, this is something that I think would be really special to be implemented into NBA 2K26, and I'd be really happy to see this, man. So let me go ahead and talk about one final tweet that I'm going to be showing y'all coming from Boomy. So she put, "Can we break backboards in NBA 2K26 with a screenshot of a glass jar that says Dawkins Glass?" I went ahead and followed up with a tweet. Let it be clear, I would love to end the game like this after it being a close one. And I pretty much went ahead and put out a GIF of a player ending game, breaking the backboard. And that's something that I think would be a fire concept in NBA 2K26 to end the game. Maybe if you're a 3-point shooter and you're on fire, maybe the net gets on fire after, you know, hitting that final bucket. It's so many different things that you can go and dive into, but I think 2K is on the right path for NBA 2K26. So once again, man, I just want to say thank y'all so much for the support. I got another video dropping for y'all like this tomorrow, man. I'm pretty much uploading every single day at this point, and we're less than 43 days away from seeing NBA 2K26, man. So I appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. God bless every single one of you. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Go ahead and click the video on screen right now to enjoy my previous one. And Rich out.